and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and this is my podcast all about knitting and spinning and dyeing of yarn, all of which I do right here in my home outside of Lima, Ohio. I live here with my beautiful, beautiful puppy, Ginger, my lovely kitty cat, Purdy, and my father-in-law's kitty cat, Tommy, and my father-in-law, and my very handsome husband. This is where all the fun stuff happens. I do want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving week before I go any further. If you are in America, any place else, I just hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Okay, today is November 26th. I wrote in my notes November 86. Doesn't quite work. 2019, and this is episode 187. 13 more episodes till magic number 200. You can find me online on Ravelry as Napier's Knits, and then we have a podcast group for Naturally Kim's Knitting, and that's where you can take part in some of the knit-alongs or chat or whatever. Then you can also find me on Instagram as knittin_Kim. And you can also take part in the knit-alongs or make-alongs on there. I'll tell you how in just a little bit. I'm also on YouTube, Blogger, and WordPress as Naturally Kim's Knitting. Whew! Now, as far as the knit-alongs go, we have one that will be finishing up on the 30th of November. I close it on the 1st of December, bright and early as I get up. And then I do the drawings right away. Now, we have one that finishes the end of this month, and that's the finished object knit-along. All you have to do for that is to make an item, take a picture of that item, and post it in the finished objects along with the pattern name if there is one. And you will be, as long as you're a member of either as long as you're a member somewhere, either Naturally Kim's Knitting or Instagram, you can be eligible for a prize. For that one on Instagram, you would put hashtag NKKFO November 2019. I think that's it. If you're not sure, go ahead and go through my past posts, and there will be a little sign for it. That's awful when I'm thinking that's it, but I don't want to commit 100%. This is the last of my pot of cinnamon cardamom tea for today. I like to drink a pot of that because cinnamon and cardamom are both good for you, at least for the things that I have wrong with me. Okay, then we're having a make along for others, make along for others, running from November 1st through December 31st. I do this every year, and that's because this is the time of year where we make a lot of things for other people or charities, and when this is the time we mail them in or whatever. And I want you guys to share in your craftiness. Now, for this one, you need to take a picture of the finished object and do like we did with the other finished object knit along. And yes, you can double dip into both of them. You can put the same object into both knit alongs if you want to. But for this one, you're going to take a picture and you're going to post it, and then you're going to put down if it's the pattern name, and if you feel comfortable with it, go ahead and put down who it's for. If it's a charity, there shouldn't be an issue, but if you're doing it for a family member who might, I'm putting myself out there, who might be watching this podcast, maybe you just want to say it's for a Christmas gift or something. I'm putting myself out there because, I don't have that many viewers, but, I never know. Families could be watching it. You just don't know. Now, for the Make for Others craft along, we have some prizes. And the winner, I'm sorry, I didn't do the prizes for the finished object. Finished object knit along. Winners will have a choice between a $10 Knit Picks gift card or any giftable pattern for up to $10. Now, for the knitting, for the making for others, sorry if I say knit a lot, that's my primary craft. You have a choice between a $25 Knit Pick gift card, a $25 Amazon gift card, this beautiful sugar and cream yarn. This is Tamari Balls and this is Hot Pink. You may choose one or you may choose both. That's totally up to you. I know what light I usually turn on. That might help a little. Sorry about that. I was doing my lights this morning. I'm thinking, why does it not look quite right? You can also choose, I'm going to knock something over, from the 25 Designs Rib It Up book. The Country Weekend Socks with 25 classic patterns to knit. And then there's Knitting Double. You can choose any of those that you might want. So, people do have a lot of choices that they could choose from for those, the make along. Okay, oh, and a heads up. My dear friend Mila just put out, where did I put mine? Oh, you probably can't see it. Just a minute, I'm going to pause you and go get it. So just a moment. So my dear friend Mila just released this pattern, which is called Dragon Tears. And I was blessed to be able to be one of her pattern testers, and especially with my crazy traveling schedule that I've had as of late. But this is an asymmetrical shawl. You start on the narrow end and you work your way up to this wider end. Now, there's also, I love this because each one of those little bobbles with the stitches up above, I see those as dragon tears. And then you get down here, and those look like the scales for a dragon, in my eye. I love this shawl. Anyways, in honor of her, starting in January, we're going to be having another, I know I've done this before, but I love Mila's patterns. Another Mila's Knit Corner knit along. If you already have patterns of hers, you're set. If not, she has lots to choose from. She has children's hats, mitts, grown-ups hats, mitts, shawls, cowls. I think she has socks. So lots to choose from. And she does quality pattern designing, let me tell you. So we will be starting that on January 1st. So you have lots of time to pick out your patterns and see which one you might want to do. All my animals are on the roam today. Okay. I have some things that I have on my needles. Just realized I have things sticking out of here. Don't think you can really see them, but you never know. I have a pattern test. My only pattern test I'm doing as of right now. Everything else has been finished. This is for Nina, and this is At My House. That's Nina from At My House. It's called Penny's Knitted Tea Cozy, and it'll be the March 2020 pattern in her group. There we go. Nina's At My House. I knew it. Let me get it right. Nina's At My House .blogspot.com. Anyways, she did give me permission to show you this, and it's going to be lovely. I haven't finished it yet, mainly because we had to discuss on she and I had to discuss a little stitch number issue, but it worked out in the end. So what I love is a tea cozy, and you work the front side first, and then you come around and you work the back. Now you start off in a circle with circular needles with your ribbing, but then to make it fit your teapot just right, you work it separately, and there's going to be little buttonholes at the top. I love that. Oh, I should tell you, this is, okay, this is the yarn I had bought to make something for my daughter, but I'm making something else for my daughter instead. So this is James C. Brett Marble. I can't remember if it had a, from West Yorkshire. I don't see a color name. Is there a color name? I don't see it. Nope, there's no color name. But this is it, and it's a marble yarn. And I got this at a shop. There, you can kind of get a little shop when we were over in the UK. So there's that one. Then I've made progress on my soup kitchen socks. My goodness. I went to pick them both up, and I picked up 2 separate socks. So this one, I probably have 2 more inches of this top ribbing to do. And this is the chroma yarn that I don't have the tag for it. I had assistance at California. So I've made great progress on this one, and I've gotten beyond the heel. I've maybe done an inch of ribbing on that cuff. So it's coming along. Once I get Nina's pattern test done, well, I always say that, but I know I'll be picking up something else because I have a couple other Christmas gifts I have to make too. So I can't guarantee when I'm going to get these done. I'm hoping before Christmas because I want to send them in with my other socks the end of December. So there's that. That's for the soup kitchen. Then I have Christmas socks. This is Duo, Knit Picks Duo. I can't remember. I don't remember the colorway, but this is Duo. So you get 2 little balls of yarn, and they're a gradient. And, you know, so when I was getting them, the hope was I really wanted to see if they would kind of work out the same. I've got the foot done, and I'm also going to do a ribbed cuff up here. Now, this is a Christmas present sock, so I can't say who it's for or anything. And surprise, they pretty much worked out the same. Look at that on the heels. Worked out pretty much the same. I just barely started the ribbing for the cuff on this one, but I like these. These are soft. Now, I will give you a warning. If you ever buy the Duos in the black does stain your fingers. So don't plan on working on it and then working on something light colored because it won't work. Now that I'm into the gray, it's not an issue, but it was when I was working the black. I had to wash my hands every time I changed yarn because I didn't want to get black on either the soup kitchen yarns or this other Christmas gift yarn. This is the Christmas gift that I am making for someone special. Can't say who. I think she watches once in a while. This is made out of my own dyed yarn. And this one I've got 12 rows of ribbing done at the top. So I'll do 8 more of those. But I like the pattern. And it's a sparkly yarn. You can't really see the sparkle. Sorry about that. But it is a sparkly yarn. And this one, I'll be ready to start the ribbing when I pick it up next. I get on ribbing and I just really, really don't want to put it down. Now, this is the pattern that I'm really not going to publish unless there is interest in it, but because it's complicated. I've only have the numbers worked out for a lady's medium-sized foot, and I don't like it when I go into a pattern and see that it's for only one size, because if I want to use it again and again but for different people, it may not work. So that's why I really am hem-hawing about printing it up, or posting it, publishing it. What are those words? Um, I like it, and it's lovely. And if I do another ladies medium sometime, I might use it again. But let me know if you think you might want it. Let me know. I am going to be putting out a pattern next day or so. My goal is to have it free on Thanksgiving, and then after that it'll be $2.50. It's going to be called Stepping Stones, and there will be a coupon code, NKK, naturally gives any, NKK SS for Stepping Stones. I know this before I've even put it in there. So if you're free on Thanksgiving, and I know it's a busy day, family things, but check it out, and it'll be free. Now, I've also done some spinning. Now, on my, I've wanted to practice a little bit more on my blending board before I put out a blending board video, which I will be doing. Just give me a little bit more time. So I made this blend. Now, I used some of my Shetland wool. That's the white that's in here. And then I had some roving that was different shades of blue. And then I had some that were different shades of purple. So down at this end is some of the purple. And up here you can see on the outside some of the blue. So I'm hoping, well, I've got another one I'll be spinning, continuing on today. And I want to try to make a cowl or a hat out of this. We'll see. Or a shawl. You can tell I'm just so knowledgeable as to what I'm going to be doing. But I love this. And this other roving was merino. So I have the Shetland wool and the merino. And the merino helps the Shetland to not be so itchy. And the Shetland helps give the merino more body. So I'm loving that. I did have to order a new bobbin though, because somehow this has been since the move, but I can't find my third bobbin. So I had to order one. Okay. Were there any questions for me? I don't have any finished objects. So let's talk about Knit Picks. Knit Picks is still having their 20% off of their Dishy yarn, and if you go to my link in my show notes, it should take you to the Knit Pick site, and then if you order, I get a couple pennies back, and it doesn't affect the fee or what you're paying at all. Words are not coming naturally today. I started off great. Now, let's see, anything else happen exciting? My life's just been kind of going on. We've been having nice weather the last few days. Enough that my husband was able to go outside, and he had trimmed back all the plants around the house, and then he shredded them up. Bless Joe, he let us have his shredder. And he tried to he tried to rototill the garden, but it was still too wet. So we have a layer of manure on top, and we're hoping that over winter it will settle in so he can work that into the ground next spring before planting time. With that first snow under our belts that we received, I am so now in the mood for ordering seeds and planting things, and it's just so funny. Okay, well, I can't think of much else that's been happening in my life. So let me tell you about the books I've reviewed. I have done quite a few book reviews. The three I'm going to really stress this week. One is Moments of Peace for Moms. These are newer released books, and Moments of Peace for Moms. I know it's available on Amazon. All three of these are. Now, if you click the title of the book, it'll take you to my review. Down at the bottom of Blogger, if you're interested in the book on Amazon, if you click that, it will take you there, and that's how I get my affiliate money from Amazon. So anyways, Moments of Peace for Moms is a devotional, and it's a really nice one because it gives you a verse to start off with, and if they have more time, they can actually read the story that the verse is a part of. Then, of course, there's a reflection, and it's just a perfect way for a busy mom to either start or end her day and give her a moment of peace. And I just love the reflections in there. I like it when I find a good devotional. Anyways, then a non-fictional book that I read, Grandmothering, Building Strong Ties for Every Generation. Well, you know, I see grandmothering and I have to get it because I want to be the best grandmother I can be. This gives you some very good ways, ideas for promoting the kids' interests, to show them how they can bring out or improve their interests within themselves. I mean, my granddaughter, she has said from the time she knew what baking was that she wants to be a baker. And to help encourage this, I'm going to give money to my daughter for baking classes for Genevieve, and Tobias, because he loves to decorate the cakes and the cookies that they do too. You'll notice that there's pictures at the beginning of the blog, and it's of them at their baking class. Well, that's one way as a grandmother, especially since I can't be out there, but I can help encourage this. It's just filled with wonderful ideas. And like I said, it's a nonfiction book, but it's good. Grandmothering, Building Strong Ties for Every Generation. Then there was the Sheila Stories by Patrick Taylor, 1935 to 2005. The Sheila Stories, 1935 to 2005. Nice nonfiction. It is about a gentleman who is a widow, and he's raising two daughters on his own, and he's concerned about they're not going to have a woman's influence in their lives. So he started telling Sheila stories to his girls. And it would be about Sheila's life in Australia, I was going to say Arizona, in Australia. And the stories are, some of them are humorous, some of them tug at your heart. They are so good that I actually went to Patrick Taylor's website because I was going to write a comment, and he has a launch team. And I signed up for his launch team, which means I will get advanced review copies of his books. And he's got one that's coming, well, I'm not going to tell you the title or anything yet, but it'll be coming out soon. And so I downloaded it this morning so I could start reading it. I mean, I came across the book in NetGalleys, and that's where I get most of my books at. To do a launch team, you really have to be exact with your timing, because you want your book reviews to come out the day the book is released. And there are times when I get bogged down and I don't get the reading done, and I feel like when I'm on a launch team, it helps push me. So I don't like not having a author's book out on time, book review out on time. It's not right for them. Anyways, I think that's all I have to talk about today. It's going to be a busy week for some people. This is the first Thanksgiving in a while that we are actually staying home because my father-in-law is here. And so we're going to have the turkey dinner here at the house, and it's going to be my husband, myself, and my father-in-law, plus our animals. But kind of looking forward to it. My first Thanksgiving in the new house, so it'll be fun. And then after that, the wonderful amazing, crazy, busy Advent time will be upon us. And all those words actually do apply this year to me. That there are so many things going on. Plus, we're still in the process of moving my father-in-law over, so we have some moving weekends in there too. But anyways, I think that's it for my week and my week in review, I guess. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week, and I hope that any of your projects go well without any mistakes. If you make mistakes, I hope they're little ones. Big hugs. I love you all. And I should be talking to you next week. Bye bye.